as a strength. And this represents why today the administration is moving beyond short-term reactive responses to a more sustainable, forward-looking solution to our issues of flash flooding in Lagos State. Today, rather than the policy being an issue of our state reacting to disasters, we will now be prepared for them. From uncertainty, it will be to a feeling of protection. We are taking a leap forward by safeguarding lives, livelihoods, and the future of Lagos State. Can we please appreciate the administration for being forward-looking? Thank you very much. Mr. Governor, sir, ably represented, the country representative of UNDP, all other courtesies duly respected. Let me, with your kind permission, welcome for the welcome address at this event the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Abayomi Oluyomi. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. The Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, here ably represented by the delectable and beautiful Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Abimbola Salah Hundeyin. Good morning, ma'am. It's nice to have you here. My sister, the Special Advisor to the Lagos State Government on Sustainable Development Goals, Dr. Oreoluwafini, I recognize you. The Honorable Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology, I recognize you, Mr. Alake. Good to see you. Welcome. My younger brother, the Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on Taxation and Revenue, Dr. Ogumbo. Good to see you, sir. And of course, we have a host of powerful permanent secretaries here present. Let me start by also welcoming the Permanent Office of Sustainable Development Goals, Mrs. Kafayat Olayemi Saromi. How are you, madam? The Permanent Secretary, Debt, Mrs. Alake Sanusi. Good morning, madam. The Accountant General and Permanent Secretary, State Treasury Office, Dr. Muyiwa John Adetola. Good to see you. Of course, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, Alhaji Tajuddin. The Permanent Secretary, I think, Office of Drainage Services, Engineer Adegbite. Good morning, how are you? Let me also acknowledge the presence of the following people who are here with us. The resident representative of UNDP of Nigeria, that she's been ably represented here today by Mr. Blessed. The German Head of Operations, German Embassy, Dr. Karin Johnson. Where is he? Okay. The General Iyahe. The Honorable Commissioner, National Insurance Commission, Mr. Olusegun Ayo Omoseyin. And of course, the MD of AXA Mansard, Mr. Kunle Ahmed. Let me welcome everyone again. Good morning to you again. We're sorry for the lateness of to commence the launch. So on behalf of myself and the Lagos State government, I extend warm welcome to every distinguished guest gathered here today to the official launch of the Lagos State Flood Risk Insurance. The project is a milestone that reflects not just the priorities of this administration, but the promise we have made to every resident of this great state. To our esteemed partners from the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development and the Insure Resilience Solutions Fund, who have stood firmly with us in funding 90% of this pioneering initiative, we are profoundly grateful. You have invested in the lives and futures of millions of Lagosians. To the representatives of United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, the Insurance Development Forum, IDF, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, the European Union, the AXA Climate, the Swiss Re, and every partner organization present, your commitment to this project is a testament to your focused and purpose-driven collaboration to Lagos State. Ladies and gentlemen, Lagos is a city of extraordinary energy, a commercial engine, a cultural heartbeat, a home to over 22 million people. Yet, this very dynamism brings with it a profound responsibility. The responsibility to protect our people, our infrastructure, and our economy from the intensifying shocks of climate change. Flooding is not a distant risk for Lagos. It is an annual reality, one that disproportionately bears down on our most vulnerable communities. Each flood season brings disruptions. It brings displacement and economic loss, consequences that reach the deepest into the households least equipped to absorb them. For too long, our response to floods has been reactive, mobilizing relief after the damage is done. Today, we decisively change that story. The Lagos Flood Risk Insurance Project is a landmark departure from that reactive posture. It is a parametric insurance solution, the first of its kind at the sub-regional levels in Nigeria. It is designed to trigger rapid financial disbursement the moment predefined flood conditions are met, using satellite data and advanced flood modeling without waiting for protracted loss assessment. Within a single policy, we are securing up to $7.5 million in coverage, protecting up to 4 million vulnerable residents across 7 local governments in Nigeria. This is not merely an insurance product, not at all. It is a statement of governance that Lagos State, under His Excellency, Governor Babajide Olusegun Sanwo-Olu, does not wait for catastrophe before acting. It is a statement of fiscal prudence and embedding climate risk management into our public finance architecture. And it is a statement of compassion that the welfare of our most exposed communities is non-negotiable. Let me at this junction say that this project has been coordinated from inception by the Office of Sustainable Development Goals, and I think also in conjunction with the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency. Let's give them a clap, please. The Ministry of Finance we continue to work to make sure that the fiscal space is created for us to continue to sustain the payment of the premium for this particular insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also affirm what these initial signals, initial signals beyond our borders. Lagos is not simply solving a local problem. We are offering a replicable model for climate finance in Africa. The federal government of Nigeria has already indicated interest in scaling this solution to other states. So once again, we're also the Lagos come first. There are only 2 states in Nigeria, Lagos State and others. Thank you. So like I said, the federal government of Nigeria has also indicated interest in scaling this solution to other states. What we launched today in this room carries the potential to reshape how cities across the continent finance resilience against climate risk. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, colleagues, the Insure Resilience Solution Fund has co-financed 90% of our first-year premium, and Lagos State has committed to progressively increasing our contribution in subsequent years. That commitment is deliberate. We are not building a one-year solution. We are building a permanent institution of climate resilience for Lagos State. As we formalize this historic launch, I invite every stakeholder in this room, government, development partners, the insurance industry, and civil society to see in this project a shared stake, a shared responsibility. The protection of Lagos State is work for all of us. Like we always say, Ìjọba Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Once again, I welcome you all to the landmark event, and I wish us all a most productive and inspiring launch. Thank you, and God bless Lagos State.
I assume the Honorable Commissioner for Finance deserves something better than that. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Governor, sir, the resident representative of the UNDP in Nigeria, all other courtesies duly extended. Next on the lineup is to invite for her special remark the resident representative of the UNDP in Nigeria, Ms. Elsie Atafua, who is being ably represented by the Deputy Resident Representative. Please, let's welcome Mr. Blessed Chirimuta for his special remarks.
Let me start by recognizing Your Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Bimbola Salhundei, Honorable Commissioner for Finance, and also Honorable Commissioner for Science and Innovation, Special Advisor for the Governor on SDGs, distinguished representatives of government and regulatory institutions, leaders of the insurance industry, development partners, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to deliver this address on behalf of our UNDP resident representative, Ms. Elsie Atefua, who could not make it today. I'm the Deputy for Operations for UNDP Nigeria. Let me go to the prepared script. It is both an honor and a profound privilege to stand before you today at the launch of the Lagos Flood Risk Insurance Policy, an initiative that represents not only innovation, but transformation. Today, we are not merely unveiling an insurance policy, we are marking a decisive shift on how we confront risk, protect lives, and secure development gains in the face of a changing climate. This is in line with our shared commitment and aspiration to ensure inclusive and sustainable development in Lagos State. Lagos is a city of energy, ambition, and resilience, a leader in Nigeria's quest for shared prosperity. Yet it is also a city on the front lines of climate risk. You would agree with me that flooding has become an increasingly frequent and severe threat in virtually all parts of Nigeria, disrupting livelihoods, damaging infrastructure, and disproportionately affecting the most vulnerable. Lagos is one of the most vulnerable cities to extreme flooding from rainfall and sea level rise, and it is ranked 15th among 136 port cities in terms of population exposure to flooding. As we all know, the state is already projected to experience excessive rainfall, possible flooding, and strong winds this year, according to forecasts released by the Nigeria Meteorological Agency. Flooding and other extreme climate events do not only pose immediate risk to us today, but also present a major challenge to our children and future generations. As the risk of flooding in Lagos will be twice high in 2050 as it is today, and about half of the city is at the risk of being underwater by 2100. This makes today's event very timely and significant. Flooding negatively impacts people's lives, livelihood, properties, and is economically costly. It undermines poverty alleviation, and it is capable of reversing some of the progress we have collectively made in the attainment of sustainable development goals. In monetary terms, flooding costs Nigeria between 307 million to 6.68 billion US dollars in economic loss in the 2022 flooding alone. The combined damages, economic productivity, and mortality costs of flooding in Lagos alone are estimated to about 4 billion US dollars annually. Unfortunately, for a lot of Lagosians, individuals and business personally bear the brunt of flooding and other extreme climate events, leaving them to bear the cost of damage and reconstruction. The absence of risk-coping mechanisms makes recovery difficult, if not impossible. Although the federal government and Lagos state government, under the leadership of Mr. Governor, has made giant strides in improving and upgrading the state infrastructure, enhancing rapid emergency response, and supporting affected communities, the limited fiscal space means that the government alone cannot shoulder this responsibility. Understanding the limited public resources available for disaster risk management, insurance is identified as a sustainable way of managing flood risk. The Lagos Flood Risk Insurance Solution stands as a bold and forward-looking response to the challenge of flooding in this state. It is the first sub-sovereign parametric flood insurance solution of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, and it places Lagos State firmly at the forefront of innovation in disaster risk financing. This is a moment of leadership, not only for Lagos, but for Nigeria and the African continent as a whole. This deserves an applause, definitely. The launch of this initiative is coming at a crucial time, given the warning that 2026 could witness above normal rainfall in the state. The initiative will complement and support some of the other measures taken by the state over the years. This achievement did not happen overnight. It is the result of vision, partnership, and sustained commitment. From the onset, UNDP has been proud to serve as a trusted partner to the Lagos government in this journey. In 2022, Lagos State Government, UNDP, the Insurance Development Forum, under the framework of the tripartite agreement, worked together to design an innovative flood risk insurance scheme for vulnerable households in Nigeria, in Lagos. Through our insurance and risk finance facility, UNDP led the development and coordination of this initiative, bringing together global expertise, local institutions, and private sector actors to co-create a solution that is both technically sound and contextually relevant. UNDP led the foundational diagnostic work that identified the scale of flood risk and the financing gap. We put to use the feasibility analysis and demonstrated the viability of a parametric insurance approach. We convened stakeholders, strengthened institutional capacity, and worked closely with regulators to ensure alignment with the national frameworks. Importantly, UNDP helped mobilize over 1.29 million euros from the government of Germany to support the implementation of this scheme over the next 3 years, investment in resilience, in preparedness, and in the future of Lagos. The Lagos flood risk policy will protect about 4 million Lagosians by enabling swift financial payouts to Lagos State government under agreed conditions. The Lagos State government will have access to funds to activate emergency response, including disaster reliefs and financial support to affected communities, and to support reconstruction of critical infrastructure, facilitating and supporting the state's climate resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, you can all agree with me that this is a game changer for the government and people of Lagos. At its core, this solution is about speed, certainty, and dignity. In the event of a severe flood, this policy would trigger rapid payouts of up to $7.5 million US, ensuring that resources are available when they are most needed. It reduces delays, strengthens response systems, and enables government to act decisively to support affected communities. One of the unique strengths of this scheme is the strong participation of the Nigerian private sector institutions, the active role of the National Insurance Commission as a regulator alongside 4 local insurance companies and 1 local reinsurer, demonstrate the growing capacity and commitment of Nigeria's insurance industry to deliver innovative, locally driven solutions. This strong domestic market participation is essential to ensuring ownership, sustainability, and scalability of the initiative. We are therefore grateful to all our partners. The Insurance Development Forum has provided world-class technical expertise in risk modeling and product design, ensuring that this solution is grounded in data and global best practice. National Insurance Commission has played a critical regulatory role, granting approval to the new solution and enabling innovation while safeguarding the standards. The participating insurance company, AXA Mansard, Leadway Assurance, Lagos State Assurance Company, Cornerstone Insurance, and Africa Re have demonstrated the strengths of the Nigerian private sector in delivering solutions that matter and ensuring successful delivery of this pioneering scheme. To the INSEE Resilience Solution Fund, thank you for providing premium support. And to the Lagos State government, we extend our deepest commendation. Your leadership, ownership, and commitment have been the driving force behind this initiative. By serving as the policy holder, Lagos State has taken a bold step up to protect its people, particularly the 4 million vulnerable residents across the 7 local government areas who stand to benefit from this scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, while we celebrate this milestone today, we must also look ahead. The risks we face are not confined to Lagos alone. Across Nigeria, communities are grappling with floods, droughts, and other climate-related shocks. The need for scalable, sustainable risk financing solutions has never been greater. This is why UNDP strongly advocates for the expansion of this model beyond Lagos State. The Lagos Flood Risk Insurance Solution provides a blueprint, one that can be adapted and replicated at the national level. This pilot initiative is not only important for Lagos State, but also serves as a model for replication and scale across other states in Nigeria. As we implement this scheme, it will be critical to document lessons learned, identify what works well, and continuously improve the model to ensure long-term effectiveness and sustainability. The success of this initiative will provide valuable insights for designing future subnational disaster risk solutions across the country and beyond. By scaling this approach, Nigeria has the opportunity to build a comprehensive disaster risk financing framework that protects states, safeguards livelihoods, and strengthens national resilience. In closing, let me emphasize that today's launch is not an end, it is a beginning. It is the beginning of a new approach to managing risk. It is the beginning of a stronger partnership between public and private sectors. And it is the beginning of a more resilient future for Lagos, for Nigeria, and for the generations to come. Let us seize this moment. Let us build on this momentum. And let us work together to ensure that no community is left behind in the face of climate risk. Thank you very much.
Mr. Governor, sir, all other courtesies duly extended. Let me emphasize once again that the UNDP office in Nigeria brokered the entire deal that has brought the private sector and the government together to use insurance as a tool for development. Please, let's appreciate the Deputy Country Representative. Thank you very much. With your kind permission, let me make some additional recognitions. We have in our midst the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Tajuddin Mahmood. Thank you for joining us. We also welcome the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Authority, Dr. Femi Oke Osonitolu. Thank you for joining us. Let me once again welcome the Accountant General and PS State Treasury Office, Dr. John Adetola, as well as Permanent Secretary, Debt Management Office, Mrs. Alake Sanusi, as well as one of our hostess, Permanent Secretary, State Sustainability Development Goals, SDG, Mrs. Kafaya Sanusi Sarumi. I will also welcome Director General of the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, Mr. Fatai Onofowote. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Governor Ma, ably represented, let me now welcome to the microphone an amazing and a very hardworking caregiver, the special advisor to Mr. Governor on Sustainable Development Goal. Please let's welcome Dr. Orefini for the journeys.
With your kind permission, Mr. Governor, ably represented by the SSG, I would like to stand on the established protocols for the sake of time, but I'd like to recognize the presence of other cabinet members here. My big brother, Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Honorable Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology, Special Advisor Taxation, the PSs in here, captains of industry, especially in insurance, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Today marks a defining moment in Lagos State's journey towards climate resilience, fiscal sustainability, and inclusive social protection. Flooding remains one of the most pressing climate risks facing Lagos. Flooding impacts go beyond environmental degradation. It disrupts livelihoods, it damages infrastructure, and places a significant and often unpredictable strain on public finances. As highlighted in our program framework, climate risk is not just an environmental issue, it's a fiscal risk, and one that requires innovative and forward-looking solutions. In July 2022, almost 4 years ago, the Office of Sustainable Development Goals was designated as the coordinating office for this initiative. Since then, we have worked closely with partners, both internal and external, to one, establish a technical working committee across ministries, departments, and agencies, develop a comprehensive flood contingency plan, and align this initiative with Lagos State's broader disaster risk financing strategy. I think that the technical team on this project, where are they? The working committee from across the MDAs. Please, can you stand up for recognition? Please, can we give them a round of applause? 4 years. We've had several conversations that are supposed to lead to certain things, both personally and in our work over the last 4 years, that have not amounted to anything yet. But these people have held the line, they've held the fort, they've persevered through it all. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to you. Thank you very much. It reflects our commitment to embedding SDG-aligned resilience mechanisms into governance systems, not as standalone projects, but as core components of public policy. I want to insert here that one of the key roles that the Office of Sustainable Development plays is to have an overview of all the policies that Lagos State has. The Lagos State Development Plan 2052, the Lagos State Climate Adaptation and Resilience Plan, and several other plans, and make sure that everything we're doing aligns with those plans. So this scheme, this state flood insurance scheme, represents a paradigm shift. Traditionally, we know that disaster response has been reactive. Funding is often mobilized after damage occurs. Today, Lagos is moving forward with a pre-arranged, data-driven financing model. This scheme is parametric in design, and that means that it is triggered by measurable flood levels. It is satellite-enabled. It ensures objectivity and transparency. It is rapid in response, eliminating delays associated with damage assessments. Once flood waters reach a defined threshold, payouts are automatically activated, unlocking immense liquidity for response. This initiative will cover multiple flood types: pluvial, fluvial, and coastal flooding. You may want to go and look all those words up. And it will provide protection for over 4 million vulnerable residents. I think the Lake State government deserves a round of applause. The initiative will support both household level relief and critical infrastructure recovery, and will focus on the highest risk initially. And the LGAs include Alimosho, Ajeromi Felodun, Amuwo Odofin, Apapa, Koshofe, Shomolu, and Ojo. This is not just insurance, it's social protection as an instrument designed to safeguard the most vulnerable. From a fiscal perspective, this scheme strengthens Lagos State's resilience in 3 key ways: predictability. Pre-arranged financing reduces budget shocks. Secondly, efficiency. Immediate liquidity ensures faster response. Finally, sustainability. A structured premium financing roadmap which enables long-term integration into the state's budget. As noted in our implementation summary, Lagos is already contributing a significant share of project costs, reinforcing ownership and sustainability. Partnerships. This milestone is a result of strong collaboration. We would like to give a special round of applause to all our partners here, including the United Nations Development Programme for Technical Leadership and Contingency Planning, the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development through the Insure Resilience Solutions Fund for premium support, the Insurance Development Forum, and private sector partners such as AXA and Swiss Re for structuring this innovative insurance solution. This demonstrates the power of public-private partnership development in addressing complex climate challenges. This initiative directly advances SDG 1, no poverty, through financial protection, SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, and SDG 13, climate action. More importantly, it positions Lagos as a model for subnational climate finance innovation in Africa. I never pass up the opportunity to let people know exactly what we do at the Office of Sustainable Development Goals. The first thing is keeping sustainability in view, like I had mentioned earlier, through policy alignment. And we measure, we depend a lot on data. I'm pleased to also mention here that Lagos, the land of first, has done 2 voluntary local reviews. For those who know, that is the ultimate in terms of measuring where you are in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals. Lagos State carried out her first voluntary local review in 2022, And the second one in 2025. We are the only state in Nigeria to have carried out any voluntary local review and to have it validated. The Office of Sustainable Development also coordinates human capital development in Lagos, because in line with our resilience plan, Lagos plans to become the global recruitment center by 2030. That is the plan. Any kind of human resource you are looking for, we plan that Lagos should be a recruitment center for you. And we do that in partnership with the Ministries of Health, Education, Wealth Creation, Women Affairs, Poverty Alleviation, Innovation, Science and Technology. We champion financial inclusion for women because the data speaks to what happens when women have improved financial literacy. And to this, we have gone to community, working with local government, working with federal government, working with private organizations such as the ones seated in this room. And we have received awards for that as well. In all we do, we carry out a human-centered design. We put people at the center of all our plans, and we prioritize hard to reach, riverine, and other blighted areas in Lagos. We're in charge of volunteering in the state, and we have a database of thousands and thousands of volunteers, currently youth, but we're also looking at other demographics that may want to volunteer. And finally, in terms of what we do, most recently, we're coordinating in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, human migration and reintegration. As we monitor data, we're seeing that there's a higher impact on Lagos of both internal and external migration and reintegration. And we're beginning to pay attention to those numbers and design policy for Lagos migration and reintegration policy. Finally, SDG 17 is a priority. That's partnership for the goals. It's the reason why we're here today. We'll work on any policy, moving Lagos forward, and partner for progress. While today is a major milestone, it's only the beginning, and our next steps immediately include expanding stakeholder engagement across communities, strengthening institutional capacity for implementation, enhancing transparency and accountability in payouts, developing a long-term scaling strategy for wider coverage. I must thank Mr. Governor, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, and Mr. Deputy Governor for continuing to support all these programs and making sure that Lagos stays at the cutting edge of all things global. In closing, Lagos State is sending a clear message. We are not waiting for disasters to define us. We are planning, we are preparing, and protecting the people of Lagos ahead of time. We are building a Lagos that is resilient, fiscally responsible, and future ready. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I request that once again I appreciate the special advisor to Mr. Governor on SDG, Dr. Orefini. Dr. Orefini. With your kind permission, let me welcome two other members of the State Executive Council who have just joined us. We welcome the Honorable Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab. A round of applause for him. We also welcome the Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on Tourism, Arts and Culture, Mr. Idris Aregbe. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Governor, sir, ably represented, with your kind permission, sir, we will take a very short documentary that chronicles the story about what we are launching here today. Please, let's sit back and watch.
For centuries, Water has shaped the story of Lagos. Our lagoons, creeks, and Atlantic coastline have long defined the character of this city, supporting commerce, connecting communities, and sustaining livelihoods. But as Lagos continues to grow into one of Africa's largest and most dynamic megacities, this close relationship with water presents new challenges. Changing climate patterns, rapid urban expansion, and intense seasonal rainfall means that flooding has become an increasing concern for many communities across the state. When heavy rains fall, streets can quickly become overwhelmed, homes may be threatened, and businesses can experience sudden disruption. For a city that never stops moving, these disruptions carry real consequences for daily life and economic activity. Recognizing the scale of this challenge, the Lagos State government has taken deliberate and sustained steps to reduce flood risks and strengthen the city's resilience. Across the state, major drainage channels are being expanded, rehabilitated, and maintained to improve the free flow of stormwater. Hundreds of kilometers of primary and secondary drainage networks are regularly cleared to remove blockages and prevent overflow during heavy rainfall. Strategic drainage infrastructure has also been constructed in flood-prone areas, ensuring that communities with the greatest vulnerability receive focused attention. Along critical waterways and canals, continuous dredging operations help ensure that excess water can move efficiently through the city towards the lagoon and the sea. These efforts are complemented by stronger environmental enforcement and public awareness campaigns aimed at keeping drainage systems free from waste and obstruction. Beyond infrastructure, Lagos has also strengthened its approach to preparedness and emergency response. State emergency agencies have improved coordination, equipment, and response capacity, enabling faster interventions when flooding occurs. Early warning systems now monitor rainfall patterns and environmental conditions, helping authorities provide timely information to communities ahead of severe weather. Together, these measures represent a comprehensive effort to manage flooding through planning, infrastructure, and preparedness. But even with strong systems in place, extreme weather events can still occur. Flooding, like many natural hazards, cannot always be completely prevented. And when it happens, the financial impact on households and small businesses can be significant. Damage to property, loss of goods, and interruptions to livelihoods can place enormous pressure on families and entrepreneurs trying to recover. To address this challenge, Lagos State is introducing an important new layer of protection. Today marks a major milestone with the launch of the Lagos State Flood Risk Insurance Policy, a pioneering initiative designed to strengthen financial resilience across vulnerable communities. Developed through collaboration between the Lagos State government, insurance providers, and development partners, this policy offers a structured system to help residents recover more quickly from flood-related losses. Through affordable insurance coverage tailored to flood risks, households and small businesses will now have access to financial support when disasters occur. By transferring part of the financial risk into a reliable insurance framework, the policy provides a safety net that helps protect homes, businesses, and livelihoods. Importantly, the policy is designed for speed and efficiency. Modern monitoring tools and environmental data help ensure that support can be delivered quickly when flood thresholds are triggered. This approach complements the state's broader flood management strategy. Infrastructure reduces vulnerability. Preparedness protects lives. Insurance helps communities recover and rebuild. Together, these elements create a stronger and more resilient Lagos. As a city in transition, the introduction of this policy represents a vision for a city that prepares for challenges, invests in resilience, and safeguards the well-being of its people. Ladies and gentlemen, Today marks the launch of the Lagos State Flood Risk Insurance Policy, the first initiative of its kind in Africa. With this bold step, Lagos is setting a standard and opening a new path for cities across the continent to follow. Here in Lagos, the Flood Risk Insurance Policy is more than a policy. It is a commitment that while the rains may come, flooding will not take over our future. It is our assurance that Lagos will continue to protect its people, safeguard livelihoods, and build a city that is prepared, resilient, and ready for tomorrow. A greater Lagos rising above the water.
Thank you very much. That documentary once again reinforces that Lagos sets the standard in terms of benchmarking good governance. Thank you very much. Mr. Governor, sir, ably represented, the country representative, resident representative of UNDP in Nigeria, all other courtesies duly extended. Ma, we'll take some goodwill messages. Two of them are virtually. First on the lineup, let me invite the German head of cooperation in Nigeria, Dr. Karin Jansen, to speak. Okay, she has joined us. Dr. Jansen, we're ready. The IDF Secretary General is standing in for Dr. Jansen. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have to clarify, I'm not standing in for Dr. Jansen.
Okay.
I'm representing the Insurance
IDF,
Development
okay.
Forum, so hopefully Dr. Jansen will be able to join us in due course. But maybe I will start first and foremost by just saying, representative of Your Excellency, Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Abayomi Oluyomi, Special Advisor on Sustainable Development Goals, Dr. Areoluwa Fini, distinguished representatives of UNDP, the German government, NICOM, members of the insurance industry, development partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and greetings from London. It's a great honor to join you today on behalf of the Insurance Development Forum as we celebrate the launch of the Lagos State Flood Risk Insurance Policy. I really regret that I'm unable to be with you in person, and it's something that I hope to correct very soon. I think many of the previous speakers said it. Today is not simply the launch of an insurance product. It is the launch of a bold vision for resilience, preparedness, and protection for millions of people. Lagos stands at the front line of climate risk. As one of Africa's largest and fastest growing cities, it faces increasing threats from flooding driven by sea level rise, extreme rainfall, rapid urbanization, and drainage challenges. But floods are not just environmental events. They're also human crises. They destroy homes, they disrupt livelihoods, they damage infrastructure, and disproportionately also affect the most vulnerable. For too long, disaster response has relied on delayed relief, emergency borrowing, and donor appeals. That is no longer enough. We must move from reacting to disasters to preparing for them. And that is why this initiative and the launch that we are gathered here this morning for is so important. Through the strong partnership between the Lagos State Government, UNDP, the German government, and the Insurance Development Forum, which is the institution that I represent, and also supported by local and international insurers, Nigeria's first sub-sovereign parametric flood insurance policy has become a reality. This is a landmark achievement, not only for Lagos, not only for Nigeria, but for climate resilience globally. And I must also say that in Nigeria, I am especially proud of this development. This policy represents a smarter and faster way to protect people. When flood levels exceed pre-agreed thresholds, verified through real-time satellite flood data, payouts are automatically triggered, allowing the government to respond within days and not months. This means faster support for emergency shelters, restoration of infrastructure, flood response, and most importantly, direct assistance to affected households. Approximately 4 million people across 7 flood-prone local government areas stand to benefit from this program, and especially those in poor and vulnerable communities. So the work that we have embarked on over the last few years really is about insurance with purpose. This is insurance as development, and it is insurance as resilience. At the IDF, or the Insurance Development Forum, we believe that insurance is not just a financial instrument, it is a development tool, and it is particularly important given the current geopolitical but also environmental context that we exist in. It helps nations recover faster, protect public finances, and helps to build future-ready societies. I particularly commend the Lagos State government for its leadership and vision, and for embedding this scheme within its disaster management system with a clear commitment to long-term sustainability, which is a point referenced by Dr. Finney earlier. I also commend NICOM for the regulatory leadership that made this possible, and also the Insurance Development Forum members, AXA Climate, Swiss Re, AXA Mansard, JBA Risk Management, ISI, and African Risk Capacity Limited. And also the local insurers, AXA Mansard, Cornerstone Insurance, Leadway Assurance, and Lagos State Assurance Company, as well as Africa Re and others who are involved, and whose technical expertise made this possible. To UNDP, the German government, and the Insure Resilience Solutions Fund, thank you for your partnership and commitment to protecting vulnerable communities through practical and scalable solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lagos model can serve as a blueprint for scaling flood resilience across Nigeria and beyond. It proves that climate adaptation is not only about infrastructure, it's also about financial preparedness. It shows that resilience is strongest when it is built before disasters strike. And it reminds us that partnerships remain our most powerful tool. Behind every policy are real people. Families seeking security, communities seeking dignity, and governments seeking better ways to protect their citizens. This is the true reason and purpose of this work and this project and this program that we have embarked on. So on behalf of the Insurance Development Forum, I congratulate Lagos State on this historic milestone. We remain committed to supporting this journey and building stronger, safer, and more resilient communities for generations to come. Thank you very much, and I hand over back to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ekoswehi Iyahen, the Secretary General, Insurance Development Forum. Let me also add that IDF is responsible for the design of the solution and as well as providing technical support for this policy. Let's appreciate them once again. Mr. Governor, sir, ably represented, resident representative of the UNDP Nigeria, all other courtesies duly extended. Let me now invite for their goodwill message the Managing Director, AXA Mansard, Mr. Kunle Kunle Hamed.
Ably represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Mrs. Abimbola Salu Undei. I hope I got it right. My brother, the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Abayomi Oluyomi. Representative of the ESCOM of Lagos State, here present. Representative of the partners of Lagos State on this project, UNDP, IDF, the German government. Distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a significant milestone, not just for Lagos State, but for the insurance industry in Nigeria. This particular project commenced a couple of years ago, just like Dr. Finney informed us. And the fact that we are launching this project today speaks to the resilience and commitment of the Lagos State government. I think they deserve a round of applause. And it's a testament to the resilience of the team that worked on this particular project. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there are inherent risks in our everyday lives. I hope we understand that. And insurance is a very stable tool to edge this risk. We are gathered here today to launch an innovative insurance solution, and that is the parametric flood insurance. It is heartwarming that Lagos State has preferred physical solutions to flooding in Lagos. Indeed, recently we recommenced the sanitation process that will change even the culture of the residents of Lagos State to flooding. But despite the perfect plan, the best plans that you might have, flooding can still arrive and can still cause damages in a city like Lagos with its peculiar location. Unlike other traditional insurance policies, with parametric insurance, losses are predetermined ahead, and what losses will look like can be determined from the beginning of the policy. Therefore, for this particular policy, immediately the triggers are identified, payout is swift and immediate. So on this issue, no long claims process and no long grammar. On behalf of the consortium of underwriters led by AXA Mansard Insurance and including Lasaco Assurance PLC, I have the CEOs there and I kindly ask them to stand up as I mention those companies. Lasaco Assurance PLC, Leadway Insurance Limited, Cornerstone Insurance PLC. We would like to thank the Lagos State government for entrusting the management of this risk to us. Please, you can have your seat. We equally thank UNDP, IDF, and the German government for the partnership with Lagos State government on this project. Again, we thank our regulator, the National Insurance Commission, Mr. Olusegun Ayomoseyin, for giving us the approval to go ahead with this particular policy. Without that approval, we might not be able to write the policy at all. We also thank other partners, AXA Climate, Swiss Re, Africa Risk Capacity Limited, the reinsurance community in Nigeria, Africa Re, Continental Re, the insurance brokers on this particular policy. Thank you for coming with us on this project. I want to reassure everyone that our sleeves are rolled and we are ready, we are committed to provide seamless service in the administration of this policy and to meet our obligations to Lagos State and Lagosians. This is the time to be in Lagos as a resident or a Lagosian. Mr. Governor, my local government is not on the list of the first phase. It's yours, sir, local government. So I am excited for the second phase of this project. Lagos State has blazed the trail already. Just last week, we had a meeting with another commissioner for finance in a particular state that desired to copy Lagos State and implement this particular project in their state. So Lagos State needs to blaze the trail across board, and we are excited to see the local government that will be on the second phase. Like I said, we are prepared. Our sleeves are rolled because Igbiga Ikileko Ajumoshewani. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's appreciate him once again, and through him to the other 4 major Nigerian underwriters. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the high point of this program, which is the keynote address and official declaration of the launch by the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, who has been ably represented here today by the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Bimbola Salu Hundeyin. A round of applause for her, please.
First, before I even have acknowledgements, I'd like to apologize for coming in late. It's, should I call it another risk? Because my orderly said that the hotel is Blue Hotel, and I'm like, where is Blue Hotel in Lagos? So we went through Lekki. At 10:08, I called, she said they're not yet ready. So I said, okay, we'll still get Blue Hotel. But it was almost 11. Where is this Blue Hotel? Then my PA said, no, it is Radisson Blue. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm so sorry. That's why we came late. I'm sorry. And on that note, I'd like to also apologize on behalf of Mr. Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, the #1 governor in Nigeria, the one that sits on the, thank you, the one that sits on the largest population in Nigeria, the one that sits on the highest economy in Nigeria, the biggest economy, the second largest economy in Africa, Mr. Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. Thank you very much for giving him a round of applause. Thank you, yes. He had asked me to apologize. He actually wanted to be here. And please believe me, I got the message that I should represent him in the middle of the night. He wanted to be here because he believed very much in what you're doing. You know, he's a very proactive governor. He doesn't believe in medicine after death. He says we have to do something. And don't forget, he's also from Etiosa. So don't worry, my brother. I'm sure it will get to your turn. Thank you. My name is Bimbola Salu Hundeyin, and I am the Secretary to the Government of Lagos State. I am here to represent our governor, and I'll go straight to his speech. Members, I'd like to acknowledge first. Oh, okay, what do you want me to do? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, so am I okay now? Please press. Oh, thank you. Okay. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues here present, the members of the Lagos State Executive Council. I'd like to start by my brother, whom I call the CBN governor. It's a prophecy. It will come to pass. That's the Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Abayomi Oluyomi. And, of course, seated next to him, like they are getting married today, one in blue, one in white, is Dr. Refini, the Special Advisor on SDG. I saw earlier on, okay, I have my other colleague, he came in late, but he's the one here now, the one in charge of the environment, where all the flood happens, he takes charge, so he should be here. And that is, of course, Dr. Wahab Dosumu, am I right? Tokumbo Wahab, sorry. That was your uncle, sorry. Okay, so, but earlier on, I had the commissioner in charge of MIS. We also had the special advisor on taxation, and we had the special advisor on tourism. And of course, we have our very beautiful permanent secretaries. You know, Lagos State is the only state that has equal number of female permanent secretaries and male permanent secretaries. The only, thank you for clapping for Mr. Governor once again. The only difference is the permanent secretaries, the female ones, are very beautiful. So, thank you very much. Please clap for yourselves. Don't let them be jealous. But we have all of them hardworking. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to also acknowledge the resident representative of the United Nations Development Program in Nigeria, Ms. Elsie Atafua, represented by Mr. Blessing Sherry Muta. Thank you very much, sir, for your beautiful speech. The German head of corporation, Dr. Kadiri Jensen, thank you. the Secretary General, Insurance Development Forum, Mr. Iyahe. Thank you very much for being here. Heads of various insurance companies here present, very esteemed partners here present, directors and staff of the Lagos State Government here present, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, and of course, our very esteemed ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon once again. There are moments in governance that are defined by the weight of the problem they resolve and the lives they stand to change. Today is one of those moments. When I assumed office, I made a promise. I mean, Mr. Governor, not the one standing before you, please. When I assumed office, I made a promise to the people of Lagos State that this administration would govern with foresight, not merely with reaction, that we would build systems capable of absorbing shocks, not just clearing debris after catastrophe. The Lagos Flood Risk Insurance Project, which we formally launched today, is the most concrete expression of that promise in the domain of climate resilience. Let me speak plainly about what we are confronting. Lagos is a city of extraordinary ambition and extraordinary exposure. Every rainy season, our communities experience flooding, submerging homes, and displacing families who have spent their lives building modest security. The floods wash away the inventory of traders, the tools of artisans, the carefully gathered resources of women who run small enterprises from their compounds. In October last year alone, flooding displaced over 3,000 Lagosians and affected more than 6,000 others in just 9 months. These are not statistics. They are the people affected, are our neighbors, our constituents, our people, our flesh and blood, our family members. For too long, the instinct of government and I, including administrations past, has been to respond to floods after they have done their worst, to mobilize relief convoys, to survey damage, and to begin the slow process of reconstruction long after the suffering has already been inflicted. I refused, as your governor, to accept that this is the best we can do for Lagos. And today, we prove that it is not. The Lagos Flood Risk Insurance Project is a pragmatic and parametric flood insurance policy, the first sub-sovereign climate risk transfer solution of its kind in Nigeria and Africa. It does not wait for damage assessments before releasing funds. It does not require lengthy claims processes. The moment pre-agreed flood triggers are met, verified through satellite data, and advanced flood modeling provided by our partners, financial resources are released automatically to the Lagos State government, enabling us to deploy disaster relief and direct cash transfers to affected communities within the shortest possible time. This policy covers up to 4 million of our most vulnerable residents across 7 local government areas, with potential coverage of up to $7.5 million US in a single flood event. That is not merely an insurance policy. That is a safety net precisely positioned under those who need it most. Residents, and especially those in the pilot local governments, need to understand that they do not need to fill out complex forms or pay individual premiums to benefit from this protection. This is a community-based cover, where the state government has already done the heavy lifting on your behalf. Good news, I say. We will be leveraging the Lagos State Residents Registration Agency LASRA database and our existing social registers to identify those in the affected zones. Therefore, I urge every Lagosian, especially our traders and artisans, to ensure your residency registration is up to date. When the flood triggers are met, our system is designed to bypass bureaucracy and move assistance directly to you based on these verified records, ensuring that help reaches your doorstep before the waters even recede. I want to address directly the question of fiscal commitment. The Insure Resilience Solutions Fund, financed by the German government through KfW Development Bank, has generously co-funded 90% of our first year premium. Thank you. Lagos State is contributing 10%. But let me be clear about what we have committed beyond year one. We will progressively increase our premium contribution in the second and third years of this policy. We are not building a donor-dependent program. We are building a permanent institution of climate risk finance for Lagos, one that will outlast this administration and serve the people of this state for generations to come. That is a definition of responsible and responsive governance. Not what you can announce today, but what you are prepared to sustain tomorrow. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Lagos is not a passive victim of climate change. We are a city on the front lines, yes, but we are also a city with the capacity, the partnerships, and the political will to lead. Studies project that climate inaction could cost Lagos State close to $40 billion by the year 2050. That is a cost we simply cannot allow to materialize. Every investment in climate resilience today is a down payment against a far greater bill in the future. It is a deposit towards a flood hazard-free and better future for our citizens. By launching this project, Lagos joins a select group of cities and governments globally that have moved beyond climate declarations into climate action with financial teeth. We do not back alone, we bite the hazards of flood. We are embedding risk management into our public finance architecture. We are aligning our development planning with the realities of a warming world. And we are doing so not in theory, but in policy, live, operational, and effective as of today. To our partners from the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, the Insure Resilience Solutions Fund, the United Nations Development Program, the Insurance Development Forum, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, the European Union, AXA Climate, Swiss Re, and every institution represented here today, I say without reservation, your partnership has made Lagos stronger. Thank you. The fact that some of the most sophisticated climate finance institutions in the world chose Lagos as a site of this pioneering initiative is a validation not only of our city's strategic importance, but of the seriousness with which this administration approaches governance. We do not take your confidence for granted. We honor it with capacity and results. To the insurance industry represented in this room, I extend a charge. Lagos is Africa's largest city. Nigeria is Africa's largest economy. The insurance penetration rate in the state is below half of 1%. Not because our people do not need protection, but because for too long, the products on offer have not been designed for the realities of their lives. What AXA Climate, Swiss Re, AXA Mansard, and their partners have built here today is proof that it is possible to design insurance that works for urban Africa. I say thank you. I urge the entire industry to take note and to build further. I am also encouraged by the federal government's interest in scaling this model to other states across Nigeria. Lagos has always been a laboratory of innovation for this nation, in commerce, in culture, in governance. If what we launch today can serve as a blueprint that protects vulnerable communities in Kano, in Port Harcourt, in Ibadan, in Kaduna, then this moment carries a significance far beyond the borders of our states. I therefore call on the federal government to accelerate that ambition. The infrastructure of climate resilience must be a national project. And to the people of Lagos, the residents of Alimosho and Badagry, my two local governments, by the way, the market traders of Ojo and Ikorodu, the families who have watched floodwaters claim what they spent years building. I want you to hear this directly from me as your governor. This government sees you, feels you, and stands with you. Thank you. We are not waiting for the next flood to remember your vulnerability. We have put in place right now a financial mechanism designed to reach you quickly, transparently, and with dignity when disaster strikes. You are the reason we are here today. I thank you all for listening.
Please appreciate the representative of Mr. Governor once again, the SSG. As the governor's representative makes her way to her seat, let me now proceed to invite for the formal sign-off ceremony the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Abayomi Oluyomi, and the underwriters represented by their managing directors. I think we're talking of AXA Mansard, Leadway, Cornerstone, African Re, and Lasaco. Let's have the chairs and table. We'll have as observers of that ceremony the representatives of UNDP, BMZ, IDF, NICOM, NIA, NCRIB, CIIN, African Re, and Algon, the chairman of the Lagos State chapter. Go. Once again, for the sign-off ceremony, we'll have the Honorable Commissioner for Finance and the underwriters made up of AXA Mansard, Leadway Assurance, Cornerstone, African Re, and Lasaco. The representative of Mr. Governor will also witness. To serve as observers will be UNDP, BMZ, IDF, NICOM, NIA, NRCRIB, CIIN, African Re, and Algon, the chairman of the Lagos State chapter. The underwriters, please. The underwriters.
Sanwo-Olu, ably represented by the Secretary of the State Government, Barrister Bimbola Saliu Hundeyin, the Honorable Commissioner of Finance, Mr. Abayomi Oluyomi, the Honorable Commissioner, our own, of Environment, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, the SDG, Dr. Oreoluwa Fini, the other cabinet members, my colleague, PAMSEX, the development partners, UNDP, IDF, BMZ, the insurance. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all of your coming here, making time out of your tight schedule to be of these epoch-making events, a groundbreaking and launching of Lagos State's flood risk insurance policy. To the good people of Lagos State, our administration under the watch of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, with the launching of the insurance scheme, we have completed the cycle of disaster management in Lagos State. Clearly, we've taken ownership of disaster management. We've taken ownership and provided the political will to ensure that the good people of Lagos State enjoy the dividends of democracy. And we have been emphatic about it, that safety of life and properties is paramount to this administration. On that note, I need to recall to good people of Lagos State, because our scorecard is in your hands, I need to emphasize that when you are looking at the mitigation, the preparedness of emergency in Lagos State, we are, number one, our emergency number is 112 and 767. We have developed our first responders in such a way that they can manage the golden hour effectively and efficiently. Our fire services are super. We have our station positioned strategically all over the state. We have our ambulances positioned all over the state. We have the LASEMA that coordinates all emergency. And finally, we are now at the insurance scheme. On that note, I say thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. That is all time will permit us to take at this program. For lunch, please, to our guests, for the VVIPs, made up of Mr. Governor's representative, members of ESCO,